How's it, guys? It's Dan and Nav from TFG.
What's
Um,
up?
so we've recently decided that we wanted to do a bit of a market watch slash cards to pick up suggestion video for you guys in South Africa and what we suggest you'd spend on each of these cards. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy and you find the information valuable. Let's start. Okay. So the first one is Talents. Talents has honestly proved itself to be so useful in the past few months since release. Especially those of you who've got it recently with the Ultra reprint can honestly see how much the card pushes you for game. I recently picked up a set of Ultras myself, honestly so worth it. But yeah, with the new sets now, how much do you think we should be looking to spend on this card in South Africa?
Talents itself sits at about $42 on TCG and Pro likewise. So I think about 600 a copy is the local going rate, and since it wasn't too short printed, there seems to be quite an available supply locally. So I would definitely recommend, guys picking it up now. Obviously, there will be another wave of tins coming out this month, so we could see the price coming down slightly, but due to the demand there has been, the card is almost the same price as Crossout, which was double to triple the value on release of Talents, so I would definitely recommend picking up. As Dan said, the card can just win you games, when it goes off, whether you look at your opponent's hand, if they interrupt you, or they draw to, or even, take a monster and go for game.
No, 100%. So yeah, we're looking at about 1.8 for a set to 2,000 max, 2,100. Wouldn't pay more than that. Yeah, so the next card we sort of wanted to discuss was Crossout Designator. Now Crossout, me and Nav got screwed up with this card, hey?
Big legs, but we move.
Yeah, 100%. As you told me, it's a sunken cost or whatever. So yeah, Crossout has proved itself to be quite a letdown, but it is really important for going first decks to protect themselves, like Dryatron, and maybe even Sid.
Even in the Tri-Brigade matchup, like decks that just, if they don't get interrupted, then it's just kind of full combo. So
exactly.
You have Crossout in and you have the space to play the hand traps and the targets for it. Definitely, it's very strong.
Would highly recommend picking up a playset of this now, especially because of the price decrease. I think I would suggest paying about 700 per copy. What do you think now?
Yeah, it's currently at about $50, so 700 a copy would be fair, maybe even 2K for a set. But like we said, it is more deck specific. So you gotta factor in, can it work in your deck, and do you have the space to play the targets for it? So,
and I know some people have been looking at playing 2 Crossouts, not 3.
Whatever the ratio is, for your deck, it's definitely at one of its lower price points at the moment. So
yeah, and with the waves coming, it might even decrease. But yeah, definitely get it when the waves release, or don't get it after that because it's just going to increase then.
Yeah, definitely.
So then our next card in our discussion is Improm. Now Improm, wow, there have been lots of printings of Improm, and this is the lowest printing we've had yet.
It's I think the first not short print of
yeah,
Improm.
Exactly. Now some of you might want to go and splurge on an alti set of Improms. And those are beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But if you're a new player and you're thinking of joining the Improm thing, I would offer about 400 to 500 bucks for a set. What do you think of that?
Yeah, no, definitely. The card's about $10, so that's like $150 a copy.
Yeah.
And obviously there's added value if you just pick up the 3 sealed structure decks, because you get the rest of the deck with it. But Improm is obviously, it's been a meta staple for a while, and there hasn't always been great access to it. But now that there is through the structure deck, I would definitely recommend picking it up, because it plays around cards like Talents, while still offering the negates. And you can use it in either player's turn, provided you control no face-up cards, so there is versatility.
And also, if it follows the same path as like the ashes from the structure deck, it's just going to increase in price when we lose stock. So yeah, if it goes to like 20, then you're going to kick yourself for not getting it now.
No, definitely. I could see Improm, Super 8 Improm, which is currently the lowest, definitely going up towards like, $15-$20 a copy.
Cool, 100%. Okay, so next is evenly matched. Now, the reason why I'm suggesting evenly matched now is because of this new bad boy from Bode, Sky Prison, something like that. That card is scary. You can't destroy your opponent's back row while it's revealed, or just their set cards in general. So evenly is sort of an answer to that. And evenly actually, before the release of Bode, was at one of its lowest price points I've ever seen, about $15 for the Ghost of the Past copy, I think.
Correct, it's still actually at $15 currently.
Yeah. So I suggest now's the time to go and like get it.
Yeah, no, 100% I agree with you there, Dan, because especially this format, we've seen a lot of strategies move away from playing, like, low impact hand traps and stuff like that, and opt for more like blowout cards and board breaking cards.
100%. And if you're a sword soul player, take it.
Like even just to like be able to have that to clear the board and stuff like that, combined with cards like Dark Ruler or other negation cards. Even it can just be so devastating because like not every deck sets up an Omni negate. Like some could be more back row like based or monster negates on board. And so evenly can really punish like strategies like that.
I've always thought that evenly combined with Ruler was like a poor man's droplets. No offense to any poor people who can't afford droplets, but it's just a good answer.
Definitely, evenly is just, it's so good, this format. Like there's a lot of like strategies from Rogue all the way to like you see the Sword Soul guys maining evenly, and
Cam and Rogue
just
killing
a lot of application in this format, definitely.
Cool. So then the next card is Dimensional Barrier. Now this card isn't as popular as it should be in my opinion, maybe because it's an older card. But this card is damn strong. If you know a deck relies on a certain summoning mechanic and you're going to go first, then you can just out them. I've used this card to stop Maldochi, it stops Dryatron, and it's very cheap, very cheap.
No, 100%. Like, you could pick up like a common set for like $1, not even, Like there's so many printings of D-Barrier, and while we, since the release of like links and stuff, this card has obviously been power crept because it can't stop link summoning. But now that we are seeing, more like XYZ, like with the Tri-Lureless deck, a lot of fusion summoning, and decks like Drytron and stuff, ritual summoning, as well as Virtual World and Sword Soul synchro summoning. There's a hell of a lot of meta application, and it stops Enforcer. So
100%. And also, if you're a very back row orientated player, then I would honestly suggest this card.
100%, and it is of course a normal trap, so you can search it with something like Trap Trick, and
exactly.
Definitely a great budget option to consider that can be very, very strong.
And there's also nice high rarity printings. There's a secret rare, I think there's an ultra rare. So if you don't want to play like a common, then you can go for it. It's just going to cost a little bit more.
Yeah, there's actually a secret reprint, a tin version from a few years ago that's actually quite cheap as well. So it's a nice set of secrets to pick up.
No, 100%.
Possible models, yeah.
Cool. So guys, now we wanted to discuss cards we would highly suggest picking up in Maximum Gold Eldorado that we're going to be looking to pick up, and we're going to try and sell before Eldorado comes. Yeah, so our first card in our discussion is Chamber Dragon Maid. Like, I'm going to be honest here, I don't know a lot about Dragon Maids and about Dragon Link, so I'm going to leave that to Nav to discuss with you.
No, I'm 100% I got you there. So, Chamber combined with the waifu tax is just, it wasn't the most accessible card because it was obviously a secret short print. So the price was ridiculous, all the way up to like $100 during peak like Dragon Link format. But the card itself is actually, it's nuts. I mean, it searches you the tiding, which then can, it serves as a bounce, and then it's like, a free extender the next turn or even the same turn. If you get the tiding engraved, like, there's just so much applicability to, this card in like dragon-based decks, primarily Dragon Link. I mean, obviously there's like, pure Dragon Maid that does play this card and rely on it heavily, but for the more like Dragon Link oriented strategies, Dragon Maid, like Chamber Dragon Maid, is a must. It's a must. It gives the deck that extra push, that little bit level of consistency, and you also have like outs to cards like Mine, and like, you can beat certain cards like Dark Ruler, provided you have the Hot Red combo. And so Chamber's a must pick up in maximum gold. Should be, I think the pre-sales were around $15 or so, but it could obviously come down from there once stock is open.
So how much would you pay in South Africa for this card with the reprint?
With the reprint, I think locally it would probably sit around 200 Rand a copy, somewhere there.
Sounds fair.
Should be fair. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the next one we wanted to discuss was access code. Now, access code has been crazy. We've seen people sell their access codes for 2,000 to 3,000 Rand in South Africa. And then, obviously, when there was no reprints of access code in the tins, it just went straight back up again.
100%.
And I was kicking myself. I saw an access code for sale for, I think it was like 1.5, and I just thought, damn, Daniel, why didn't you buy this?
Oh, damn, Daniel.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I think that I've seen Mo have pre-sales up for about 1,000 Rand.
Yeah, it was like just under 900, 950, something like that.
And I think that's pretty fair, to be honest.
Yeah, the thing is with access code, especially in the El Dorado set, a lot of YouTubers like House of Champs and stuff have noted that normally we refer to like cards as short printed. This is actually half printed. So what it means is that it's basically like half the normal, print run ratio that it would have in the set. So if it were to be short printed, it would have X amount. This is even less than that.
Wow.
It's like half the amount. That's why we've seen so few pulled in like online videos and stuff like that. And that's why I think that the price will hold a bit higher. I think on pre-release at the moment it's currently about $40 to $50. But once stock is open and stuff, international competition could drive the price lower. In SA, I'd probably say after release, if you wait for the pre-release prices to come down a bit, you could probably pick one up for between 600 to 800 Rand in that region. But yeah, definitely it's access code. It speaks for itself, just up the board, go for game.
I'm just worried with this half printing situation that it actually leads to price increases.
Exactly. And Konami also released a statement which it doesn't affect us because we're Euro-based.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Waves in North America, so this product's actually going to get waived in North America, so it could affect the TCG pricing as well.
So it might actually just be a good idea to just get an access code for 1K, spend the extra 200, 300 Rand.
Secure it in advance, and it does, like you said, the OG, the secret version was $60 on release. Whoever picked it up, great for them. I mean, it ended up at $200 at a point, 180 somewhere there.
Crazy. Cool. So our next discussion point is IP Masquerader. IP Masquerader has had a bit of a long history with price shifts. I think at one stage when it first came out, it was $60.
It was up to, I think between 50, 60, something like that. Yeah,
nowadays it's about 20. And I don't know if I'm correct in this, Nav will correct me, but I estimate that this is going to be about 10 to 15. It might be a bit different. Yeah, what do you think, Nav?
Yeah, so basically, I think you're spot on there. It's just that there is this alternate art version and the original art being printed in the set. So I've seen pre-releases for the alternate art obviously be more expensive because it's an alternate art. It's the art imported from the OCG, so it's new for us, and I think that price will sit a bit higher than the reprint of the original.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think the original could be as low as maybe $10, where this could be a bit more, say, towards the 15 range that you mentioned.
Well, as you've explained, waifu tax.
waifu tags as well. I mean, the new art is beautiful. Hopefully we get the secret at some point.
Hopefully,
nice.
hopefully. Cool. So yeah, next is Verte Anaconda. Now, Verte Anaconda is currently at the highest price point we've ever seen it. It's almost $1,000 for a Verte in South
That is
Africa,
good.
which is crazy. I remember picking up this card for $300. And I've had 3 different copies of Verte, so getting my last one was a bit like of a hit to me mentally. I was like, what?
Yeah, every single one just got more and more expensive.
Yeah. But obviously with the release of Phoenix Enforcer and the fact that Dragoon is still alive, thank gosh, I would highly suggest picking this card up. I'm estimating about $300 per copy. What do you think, Nav?
So I ideally would like to agree with you and say $300 because that would make it way more accessible for everyone and a bit fairer from an accessibility point. I don't think it will be that low. Like pre-releases, I've seen it at I think about $30 or so.
Okay, so that's like $450. Yeah.
Yeah, well, about 450, close to 500, but obviously, that will come down. Once competition hits the market, that will probably reduce by like 30-40%. So, it could settle around 300-400 if we're lucky. I think that should be the max that you pay for this card, but like you said, there's so much demand. It can be thrown into almost any strategy if you're willing to play the bricks.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah, there's obviously 2 great fusions to summon with Phoenix Enforcer or Dragoon, depending which one you prefer for your strategy. But yeah, Anaconda getting reprinted is huge. It's huge for so many strategies and for so many people that were waiting for the reprint.
And it's just interesting to see like what's gonna end up being more valuable, the Ultra or the Gold.
Yeah, I actually think that the Ultra will still be considered higher rarity. I think so, but I mean some people like the Gold, some people don't like it. I think it will become personal at the end of the day, but they should be fairly similar from a pricing point of view. Maybe with the Ultra, maybe like, a few dollars more expensive.
No, 100%. Cool. So our last card in today's discussion is Invocation, and this is one of the main reasons why I bought our boy Pranav, because this man knows about the deck. So yeah, Pranav, take us away.
Oh, Invocation. Yeah, can't even recall how many copies of Invocation have been in my hands over the years. But this card has been short printed as hell. It's been, it was secret originally. It got reprinted in secret. It had an OTS Ulti, which is like way over $160, $170 a copy. So accessibility to this card, even with the super rare that got printed, the super rare was like over $40 a copy. Whereas the rest of the Invoke strategy is fairly affordable with like super Alistairs, Meltdowns, and like Macabres and stuff like that. But Invocation remained the highest price card in the entire engine for a while. So this is huge for the guys that are wanting to play Invoke, with a little bit lower budget. It's obviously they can finally pair it with like the max gold Alistairs and the gold rare Meltdowns and stuff like that. And I think it's great for the guys that are wanting to play Invoke because it's obviously the most key card to the entire strategy. It lets you fusion summon, lets you recur the whole engine, and if you're playing a fusion deck, you can even fuse for other strategies like Stalls or like if you draw the Dark Magician and Red Eyes, hey, you're making Dragoon.
100%. Cool.
It's gonna be crazy for the guys waiting to play Invoke. And as we've seen, Alistair too strong.
And South Africans love their Sid.
Normal summon Alistair is just undefeated to the ban list.
Yeah. No, I think the representation here with Sid is crazy. I've seen about 30 different people picking up the deck, playing the deck, especially with the reprints from the tins.
Correct, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, so very good investment, even if you just want to trade it, honestly.
Actually, if you look at it over long term, every single version of Invocation, from the super secret and ulti over time, has doubled in some instances, if not tripled.
Wow.
That just always goes up.
Whoa, that's
so hopefully it's not as short printed as previous versions, and
But if it is, it might double in price, you don't know. We'll
Exactly.
see.
Yeah, and I've seen like some pre-sales out at the moment for about $10 a copy,
Crazy.
which is I mean that's not so bad to pick up a set of Invocation for the price of one super rare Invocation is
Yeah,
it's quite something.
lit. It's very lit.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. Well, yeah, I think that's it for the video today. I think that, if you guys need any advice or anything, you can just comment or PM us. Don't spam us, please. And for all your singles needs, you can message Joshua at Flex Gaming Orders. And just support your local team, guys. Thanks so much, guys. Cool. Cheers.
Cheers.